All right, welcome to another episode of the Gentleman's Dialogue. And happy Friday to you guys. Happy holidays to you guys. Happy weekend to you guys. Hope that everything is going well with everybody. Hope that everybody's being safe during the holiday season. You know, you're out. And look, if you're out shopping, keep your head on the swivel. Man, this is Atlanta. We all know, not just in Atlanta, but everywhere. Keep your head on the swivel. Pay attention to your surroundings. Ladies, when you stop and get gas, do not leave your purse, bag, pocketbook, whatever you want to call it. Don't leave it on the front seat while you're pumping gas. The sliders are still sliding, grabbing your wallet, and you get home and realize that you don't even have a wallet, and the car next to you just slid up, and the cat got in your car and got your bag. But just wanted to give a few pointers and tips. Hey, if you're burning fireplaces at home, watch your fires. If you're burning candles at your house, watch the candles. Don't leave anything on and burning and unattended. People, this is holiday season, and people tend to get careless because we got so much going on. We get real busy, and you kind of forget.
Right.
If you're like me, I open up the refrigerator door and I leave it open. I forget. Or I go to the refrigerator and I forget what the hell I even came to the refrigerator to get. I got to close it back.
I do that.
And walk back and come back and say, okay, maybe if I duplicate my steps, I'll remember what I came to get.
Yeah.
But anyway, Solo, what's up, my brother?
Man, it's Friday. It's holiday season. And Steve, you made a good point because, you should always, obviously, keep your head on the swivel, even when you're driving, man, because sometimes if I'm going in a particular direction and a car that's maybe one or two cars behind me seems to be following me, I don't think that, I'm James Bond or somebody from an action movie and the government or some people are trying to follow me, but just keep an eye on your surroundings. And especially with this time of the year, it's even more of an emphasis on making sure that just keeping up with your safety, because we're fortunate that we live in peaceful times. Technology, we're not out here running around like cavemen, just out in the wild with all the apex predators and stuff. But at the same time, we still have our own issues. We still have crime still exists. And just over the holiday season especially, make sure you guys are safe out there. And then with the cold weather, like even in the it's a lot colder than it normally is. Wintertime is finally kicking in. Make sure that get your heat checked, your furnaces, and make sure that your pipes don't freeze. Leave your faucets dripping a little bit at night. But
when the temperatures are freezing.
Yeah, when the temperatures are freezing. And just be safe. But other than that, obviously I shouldn't, it goes without saying, but make sure you have fun and enjoy yourself. Just make sure that while you're enjoying yourself, you're just keeping an eye out to make sure if something is off or if something doesn't seem right, then that might be an instinct telling you, hey, just pay attention to that just in case. But it's Friday, it's a beautiful day. Sitting up here with my homie MVP Steve. Bro, I got two questions. One, how you feeling? And two, what are we drinking today?
Oh man, first of all, you know what, man, I'm feeling pretty good, man. Actually, it's been a hectic week, man. And if I really, and if I'm honest with myself,
Okay.
it's been a hectic year.
Yeah, that's
The week has been rough. I'm thankful every day though, grateful and thankful, but it's been a hell of a year, man.
Right.
This has been a stress-filled year. I won't say stressful.
Okay.
It's been a stress-filled year.
Okay.
And if I'm again, and that's just being fully transparent. A few things didn't go the way that I wanted them to go this year.
I got you.
But my focus will be to make sure that in 2025, those things do go the way that I wanted them to go.
Absolutely.
You know, and I'm gonna be really, really focused on that. I'm gonna be honest with you. You asked me what we drinking. You know what, bro? Yeah, I don't even know. You know what? I didn't even pay. I'm mad at myself. First of all, I'm drinking a red. You got a white over there, bro. I just grabbed a bottle that I opened yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what I got, man.
Okay. You know what? Because
No, you know what? This is Cooper Thief. I'm sorry.
oh, okay, okay.
This is Cooper Thief, bro. Bro, I don't know. I don't even know, bro.
Because I thought you because you got two different bottles. I thought
Hey, nah, look, one of the companies, one of our clients,
I got you.
they send wine during the holidays.
Okay.
Nah, this is what these are, man. I ran out of space, bro. I don't even have anywhere to put them, so I just got them sitting here. So,
Got you.
and that is my job. I am supposed to be able to tell you exactly. Well, I do know this is Cooper Thief because we're supposed to be featuring a different wine every show. And I'm still gonna feature a wine before the show is over.
Of course, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
this is Cooper Thief. This is a red. As a matter of fact, I only poured this Cooper Thief because now that I think about it, I just finished talking. I just got off the phone with my boy Rob Norwood, right?
Mhm.
And we were just talking about wines, man. And he was like, man, you got to try this wine, bro. He's like, it's Mayomi. And I told him, I was like, I need to check in the box and make sure I don't have it already. I don't remember drinking it, but I told him, I said, I'm going to try some tonight.
Okay.
I'll let you know what it's like tomorrow, bro. But yeah, that's what made me even think about going in there and pouring red wine. But yeah, before the show is over, I'll introduce something, and you caught me off guard, bro.
Oh yeah, we're good, man. It's all there.
No, this stuff ain't rehearsed. It ain't rehearsed up.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's what I'm drinking. But I just want to go back to something that we were just talking about: holiday season.
Yep.
And safety.
Right.
Okay, women, and this is for the men too, but especially women. When you get out of that car, get off of that phone. When you have that, when you're on that phone, the days are shorter now, so it's night at 5 o'clock now, 5:30.
Yep.
You're getting out of the car, whether you're going into a parking deck, whether you are going to the mall, grocery store, pay attention to what's happening. Always, when you get there, don't get out of the car immediately. Look around first.
That's a good point.
Always look around.
Yeah, that's real.
Always have, and some women carry firearms. Women, if you don't, have your keys out in your hand. Have the largest key you have in between your fingers, sticking out, just in case someone attacks you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have to take a cat's eye out because he's trying to rob you, then you do what you need to do.
Yeah.
I mean, people are out here now doing the craziest stuff between robbing, killing, stealing. Be alert. Keep your head on a swivel. If you don't have to carry a large purse or pocketbook, bag, whatever you want to call it, carry something small enough where it's not draped over your arms. Guys now snatching your arm out of your socket just to get your purse.
Yeah.
Make sure you have mace. And a lot of women, they carry mace and they don't even know how to use mace.
Wow.
If you spray him in his shoulders, it's a wrap.
Right.
You can spray him in his arms, his chest, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Mace has to go in the face. If you don't spray him in the face or her in the face and you're getting attacked, they're gonna complete the attack. So it's just little stuff like that, and we talk about it, we think about it, but not until you're in that situation and
Yes.
you got that state of panic happening,
Right.
and you can't really think the way you normally are thinking, and so you don't have the clarity. But always be ready. Every time you get out of your car, just expect, I'm getting out like something may happen.
Right.
So I would rather be overly prepared
Yeah,
than not prepared at all.
absolutely.
So that's that's another thing. I just wanted to make sure, again, when you're going to get gas, when you go get gas, if you're using a credit card or any form of card and it is not a tap, if you have to insert your card, before you insert your card, take your hand where you put the card in, pull it and shake that card reader left and right. If it comes loose, it's a skimmer attached to it.
I've seen those. Yeah.
Brother, man, local McDonald's workers are installing them,
Are you serious?
bro, just to get debit card numbers. So be careful when you're out there shopping, with your card. Tap right now is still pretty safe.
Oh yeah.
They hadn't really gotten anything yet that can really hit you hard on the tap. But when you got to slide and insert that card, it's you increase the risk. So cash is still good. Cash is still the safest way to, for you've got to go to the store or whatever. I get it. But man, if you can carry a little cash with you and and make sure that cash is what you're going to use, it's safer.
Right.
And I know people say no, cash isn't safer, but in my opinion, it is safer because nobody can skim my $20 bill,
Okay. Right.
right? They can skim your debit card and they can wipe your account out. By the time you get home, you're getting alerts that your account has been emptied.
Yeah.
And when you have to deal with that, it is not something you want to deal with. The banks don't want to give you your money back.
Real.
Now you're fighting to try to get some of the money back. Now, now you got to also, in the meantime, the money's gone. You're trying to get that money funded back in to try to figure out,
Right.
what do I do?
Right. Right.
Man, always just keep a few bucks of cash on you just in case. It's always safe. So, Solo, man, what we chopping up today about, bro?
Man, communication. The overall subject is communication. It's communication in relationships. I was on.
Oh, boy, you picked something deep, bro.
Yeah, man. 'Cause
Man, I wasn't ready for deep today, bro. What's the...
it's I was on Reddit and Reddit. I like Reddit. Reddit is like kind of the place where you can put all your business out there, but nobody knows it's you, and you can. You just switch some names and details.
Kind of like traveling where nobody knows you. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You can go one of the islands. Nobody knows you. Because I know some people that they go and they're like, oh, yeah, I can go to Jamaica and how I really want to act. Yeah, okay, because nobody knows me until you get over there though and realize, man, somebody does know you.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I had a buddy. Man, that thought he was being slick, man.
Okay.
And he went to the Bahamas, man. And matter of fact, he went to the Bahamas to meet this girl there.
Okay.
And what was so crazy was his wife was on the plane with him and he didn't even know.
Are you,
bruh? Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, he was going to meet that. Yeah, he's going to meet that chick over there, man. Going to meet that chick, man. And his wife waited until he got there and got settled in the hotel. He'd been making all the reservations on the laptop at the crib and left everything up. Wife had all the details. Oh, she met him there. She met him at the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, met him at the hotel, man. And what's ironic though, they're still married.
Really?
Oh yeah, but it cost him.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
Yeah. But go ahead, man. I ain't cut you off, my brother.
No, it's all good. It's so basically what inspired today's subject, I was on there and I was reading and I came across this post and this guy, he said, I'm 21 and my girlfriend is 25. We've been dating for 6 months and probably, if not right at the 6-month mark, she came out and told him and said, hey, by the way, I got 3 kids. And when I heard that blew my mind because I'm thinking like, it's been 6 months. We already established that we're dating, feelings are involved. People are starting to get attached. we're moving in a direction potentially towards marriage or whatever, whatever the case is with them. But, he said that she told him she has 3 kids and he doesn't know what to do. He's stuck. He said that he loves her. He has feelings for her. She's like everything and it really, honestly, it sounds like he's just in the honeymoon phase and everything is just going like perfect. Cause I mean, 6 months, you still.
But I just want to make sure I understand what you said.
Okay.
They've been dating for 6 months.
Yep.
And he didn't know that she had 3 children.
It blows my mind to say it, but yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, people hide things all the time, but 3 kids, that's kind of hard to hide, depending on the circumstances. I mean, I'm sure, I guess they live separate or whatever, but.
So at some point, he didn't step on a Lego,
Right.
a Tonka truck.
That's what I'm saying.
Says she's 25. So the kids are probably not that old. He didn't see a PlayStation hooked up.
Yeah, right.
6 months, 3 children, and she never told you that she had 3 children.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming the children live with her.
Yeah.
That chick's putting it down.
Yeah.
She must. Let me tell you something. You dating somebody 6 months. Now, I know some people are going to think that, oh no, I don't agree with that. But you've been dating 6 months. And also just assuming that, you all go out.
Right.
Somewhat regularly, I guess. But 3 kids, I don't know, unless she, and maybe she has some really great family help. Maybe her mom helps.
Yeah.
And maybe the fathers. I don't know, the father or fathers. I don't know. But to have 3 kids and you wait 6 months though to tell somebody that you've been dating, because 6 months, we're not talking about just a week or 2.
Yeah.
6 months. You've invested a little time,
right?
And 6 months means that apparently you all are digging each other.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wait 6 months to tell me that you have 3 children,
right,
I have a problem with that.
Yeah, for real.
I have a serious problem with that, because I think if the shoe was on the other foot, and as a man, and I'm dating a woman for 6 months, and then one day, 6 months later, I'm like, oh, hey, you know what? I forgot to tell you. Guess what? What? I have 3 kids.
Yeah.
I can see a chick now.
For real, right?
Ninja, what you just tell me? I lost your him and something, So yeah. So that's pretty wild, man.
It is. And it's like, that communication, man, because what would go through my head is, before we decided to officially start dating, or at some point, I guess on the first, maybe even the second date, maybe I could see it. Like, I could see you not revealing certain information about yourself. You might still be deciding if you like each other, if you want to see each other. I get that. But when we decide that we're going to be exclusive, it's like, hey, it's just you and me, we're dating, whatever the case. I think that should be, in my opinion, that's when you have certain conversations and you just let them know certain things, like, hey, just so you know, in this situation, I got 3 kids. And especially when, it's one thing if he probably already had a kid or 2, but I believe he doesn't have any. So that's, a relationship is one thing, but when you attach kids to it, that's a whole nother situation, because you, depending on the dynamic, like if y'all live together, you can't do certain things. And especially since they're only in their 20s, I'm pretty sure these kids are obviously small. So.
Okay, well now, here's the flip side.
Okay.
Maybe she didn't want him to know about the children because she wasn't yet sure whether this would be the guy that she was going to be with in the long term.
Mm-hmm.
and didn't want to introduce the children to this different man,
Right.
right?
Okay.
Because maybe she's in protective mode.
Okay.
Because especially this is both ways, but and it's unfortunate and it's only in my opinion that it's a little different with women. Because, and the reason why I say this is that I don't think that women, you start dating a guy, if you have a child or children, that doesn't mean that your child needs to meet that man.
Yeah.
Your child or children should not meet a man until you know for sure that this is a long-term or this is a serious relationship. This ain't just some sort of short-term something, because it's not fair to the children in a few ways.
Mm-hmm.
For one way, there's some nuts out here.
Right.
So it's out here. And when I say people identify as just being people, the weird man that likes kids.
Mm-hmm.
There's some who appear to be fairly normal people.
Yeah.
They date, they're dating women, going out on dates, but they still like kids too.
And see, that's a good point, because I know when you think about usually the first thing that comes to people's mind is, if you were looking at them, it's almost like that shit is written across their head, invisible. But it doesn't really have a look. It doesn't have a stereotype.
No, and that's why, and that's why. So in all fairness, maybe that's why she didn't want him to know that she had kids, because and maybe that's an explanation that she gave him later. I wanted to be sure that you were in this for the long haul before I brought a man into my children's lives.
Okay.
Because you don't want to keep introducing different men to your children.
Yeah.
You dating this guy in January. Now you're dating this guy in March. And then this guy in August. And all of them have met your children. That sends a different message to your children.
Right.
Especially at a young age.
Yeah.
And that's just like, I remember during our literacy program that me and my buddy, man.
I'm glad you brought that up, man, because I like when you talk about this stuff, man.
I remember the literacy program. I remember, man, the literacy, when we were doing the literacy program, me and my boy MJ. And I remember this kid, man, that we used to, that was in the program. I remember the kid telling me one day that his mom was like, my mama a hoe.
Dang.
So I said, what?
Yeah.
I'm looking at him I'm thinking, first of all, man, what the hell did you just say?
Yeah.
So I said, wait, what did you just say? Man, Mr. Steve, my mama who, man? Man, we talking a 5-year-old. And now, in all fairness,
Yeah.
when you hear a kid say that, maybe I shouldn't admit that because at first I wanted to laugh, because at first I was like so far off guard that
Right.
that it was almost like come on, man,
Right.
Watch
Like,
your mouth, little watch your mouth.
Yeah.
But I wanted to dig deeper. And I said, man, what you mean? He was actually a kid that I found, really found out that he was not really the problem child in a classroom,
Okay.
but he was that kid that didn't do his work,
Mm-hmm.
always falling asleep, had his head down on his desk.
Okay. I got you.
But you know what? He had his head down on his desk because he was tired.
Right.
And so when he explained to me why he said that, his mom was a hoe, he said, Mr. Steve, every time I look up, every night, it's a different such and such in my house. Knocking I'm just going to change the words because I'm not going to use his term.
I got
But
you.
basically, man, knocking my mama down. I'm thinking to myself, huh? 5 or 6 years old that can talk and understand this type of stuff
Yeah.
at that age.
Wow.
So I was like, well, dude, what you talking about, bro? Well, such, this and that. So come to find out, what he was saying was, at nighttime. And it, and I bring light on it. It's light now, but it wasn't back then. I couldn't understand it.
I got you.
But he said, and man, I hate y'all. I'm laughing. It ain't funny. But he was like, man, Miss Steve, my mama headboard always knocking against my wall, and I can't sleep at night. That's why he couldn't sleep. That's why he was so tired
Okay, I got you.
in school.
Yeah.
So I remember, man, I remember seeing his mom, right? I ain't calling it. It's just, Shay.
Yeah.
Hey, let me have a word with you right quick. Hey, Mrs. Steve, such. She used to always be like, hey, hey, Mrs. Steve, when you gonna come to my house and read to me? I'll tell you something. You better be careful what you ask for.
Okay. Yeah.
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 'Cause I come over there with a book bag full of Dr. Seuss books. Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, green hat and ham, I am, whatever it says, green eggs and ham, I am, if you want to. But yeah. So yeah, you definitely gonna get some literacy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach you all your vowels, A, E, I, O, A, U.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, we just having fun, y'all. This is, you got podcasts are fun too now. It ain't all serious. But anyway, getting back to to the point, so I pulled her to the side and I said, hey, I want to talk to you about something. And she was real fresh. She's a young girl, but she's always fresh.
Right.
What you want to talk to me about? You talking about coming through? No, I'm not talking about coming through, shawty. No, I'm not. Well, what's up? You gotta hurry up and get to the house. Yeah, I need to talk to you about, you said that the son was having problems in school. You were getting letters sent home to you because he wasn't being attentive in class, falling asleep, kept his head down, he never's not doing his work. And I said, but the conversation that you and I are about to have, it stays between me and you.
Yep.
She was like, what's up? Why are you looking so serious? No, because this is serious right now. I said, I know we joke around, I said, that's the nature. I said, but right now we're serious. I said, right now we're talking about a child.
Yeah.
And at that point, she realized that I wasn't playing. I said, apparently, nobody taught you how to put a pillow between your headboard and your wall because your son can't sleep at night because he says your headboard is knocking all night with a different dude and he can't sleep. Bruh, if we had IG back then, the picture that she made, the look on her face.
Right. That's literally what I was thinking about.
It was, and I'm not talking about the part of the embarrassment because that's not what that conversation was about.
Right, of course.
This conversation was about what do we need to do to fix the problem that we're having with your son.
Right.
And why teachers don't want him in the classroom because they think he's disruptive. They think that no one cares about this kid because he comes to school and goes straight to sleep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right.
How are we going to fix this? And it's, it's my job to help you come up with a solution.
Right.
We had that conversation right before she left. I said, don't you say a word to him. I said, because one of the things that we do as men, especially with our young brothers, is we try to create a relationship that makes them feel safe enough to talk to us about any and everything.
Yeah. Yep.
All the little boys and stuff, man, even now that I'm reading to, I always ask them kids and we talk about it. Look, I don't care who it is. It could be your relative.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's touching you in a way that they're not supposed to, or it makes you feel uncomfortable, or if they're touching you and telling you don't tell somebody, if anybody's telling you don't tell someone about something they're doing to you, it means it's probably wrong.
Right.
And you need to tell somebody. And I said that to say, we like to keep this bond that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I said, and if you tell him, if he knows that you and I had this conversation, it's now going to keep him from communicating with me.
Yeah, right.
And she said, you know what? I won't. Got the problem fixed. I remember her coming.
Perfect.
She came to me, man, time later. She was talking about how much better he was, and that he now, like, one of the teachers made him, teacher's pad, erase the board,
Oh yeah,
pick up papers and that sort. They started doing that
Okay.
for him, and I was like, you know what? I love it.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I like to hear that, and even then, she still would say, okay, now we got that problem out the way. You still, when you coming to read to me,
Yeah.
let me tell you something. One of the things that I always I value is my love that I have for our children. There's not enough communication between Black men and our young youth.
Right.
I think that's where the disconnect is. I think this is why we see so much crime. This is why we see so much truancy. This is why we see so many of our young boys. You know what? This is why we see 45, 50 unsupervised children breaking in cars up in the Camp Creek Marketplace, or right at Stonecrest. It's stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing two groups of 40 and 50 kids fighting and shooting at each other
Yeah.
at the end of a football game. That's why we're having these problems. And it's up to men, specifically, it's up to Black men. We got to step up our game. We got to step up our game, man. We have got to do better with creating lines of communication with our youth.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be your son, but still be that man like they had back in the day. I remember, like, my grandparents would talk about how, and not that it's, I'm not saying that you whip somebody's children, but back in the day, my grandmother was like, oh yeah, if we got caught by, let's just say, Miss Mary, the neighbor, doing something wrong,
Yeah.
she said, Miss Mary would whip my ass. And then she would tell my mama, and then my mama would whip my ass.
Yeah.
So, and I remember my grandmother tell me that. I'd be like, man, you lost your mind. Like, neighbors with me, and then you with me too? Nah, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
But that's the disconnect, and we have to do better with communicating. And I always, I talk about our young youth, and I specifically always talk about the boys.
Mm-hmm.
But the girls are so off the charts now. They're worse than the boys. The girls fight worse than the boys.
Yeah.
The girls now want to be criminals. Girls out here now breaking in cars, breaking in houses. They're doing the same stuff that the boys are doing. And then I still go back and say, what is usually the commonality when we have issues like that? And a lot of times it's the Black man missing from the house. And I'm not talking about the brother that's just coming over, kicking it with the chick, He didn't really care about the kids.
Mm-hmm.
He over there for one other reason.
Right.
One sole reason only. We have to get more involved with our youth. And I know subject you were talking about was communication, which is still critical.
Yeah.
And that's critical. But even if they're not your children, if the boys, girls are not yours, we still got to school them. We still have to educate them. We still have to talk to them and teach them. And if we don't, man, we're going to lose an entire generation of children to death, prison,
Yeah.
and who knows what else. There's something new it seems like every week is something new coming out, something new that can destroy people. But we have got to figure this out, and that's it, man. I'm gonna let you take it from there, bro. But I could talk all day about youth and how we need to
Right.
be, as Black men, do better by our children, and for our children. Again, when I say our children, not necessarily your biological children, but just our children, period.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, because I mean, I think, I don't think we ever had enough to begin with, but even especially in today's time, as you were talking, I was thinking like we need more, and I just throw this out there as like a nickname, but I mean we need more Uncle Phils, man, and that's just an example, because I remember when I was young, I used to watch The Fresh Prince, and it made me think about Uncle Phil, like who he was to Will Smith, because Will Smith didn't have a father, and really he didn't have a father figure until he went to go stay with in Beverly Hills with Uncle Phil and everybody else.
mhm.
So it made me think, and it's like, okay, well, if we had Uncle Phil's or where however you want to phrase it, but people who are willing to extend their support, extend as far as advice, just providing a safe space for, kids especially to be able to talk, because as kids, there are some things, man, I used to have on my mind, and of course you're gonna go talk to your friends and stuff, but I wouldn't even think, like, I'd be like, man, I can't tell my mom about this because she might not even understand.
And that shouldn't, and that right there should never be a response from a child.
Yep, I agree.
I can't talk to my mom about that, or I can't talk to my pops about that.
Yeah, yeah,
That line of communication should always be open.
right.
There should never be a fear of being able to talk to your parents
Mm-hmm.
or some other adult, but specifically your parents.
Right.
You should always have that line of communication wide open. And this is where we as parents have to do a better job, is letting our children know, listen, I don't care what it is you think you did. I don't care what the situation is. But as your parent, come talk to me.
Yeah.
There won't be any consequences, any negative consequences for you coming to me to talk to me about something that you need to get off of your chest. A lot of times, where the problem occurs is, especially I know as growing up,
Mm-hmm.
when you lied about something,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the truth comes out later.
yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, though, it's funny. My friends, my close friends, the couple I got know this. Listen, man, I only had one spanking my whole life.
Are you serious?
Bruh.
Wow.
And you know what? Listen. My homeboy, Michael Williams,
Okay.
I wasn't going to school that day. I must have been sick. And Mike would come by and scoop me up. Like, come on, brother. Come on, dog. Let's get the bus. Catch the bus. We young. And I wasn't going to school. So I remember giving Mike some pills.
Okay.
And I told him we were going to make him smart.
Okay.
Unbeknownst to me, these were antibiotics, right?
Gotcha.
And I didn't know that Mike was allergic to antibiotics.
Oh dang.
So listen, just let you know just how we were as kids. Because
Yeah.
Mike was at the water fountain about to take these 2 pills that were going to make him smart.
Right.
And this, and I think Miss Grindle, I think was her name. I can't remember. She was a school nurse, a school secretary. But she saw Mike, was like, Mike, what you doing? What are you taking? He said, oh, Steve gave me these to say we're going to make me smart.
Yeah.
I remember, man, my uncle coming home, school was over. I remember my uncle, man, he was like, hey, man, you gave Mike Williams some pills today? And I was like, huh? Like, what you talking about?
Yeah.
He said, you gave him some pills to say they're going to make him smart. Now, at that point, I already figured You know this much. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, right.
So, of course I told him, man, yeah. He said, boy, he said, man, Michael, we Mike allergic to penicillin. If he had taken that, man, he could have died.
Yeah.
I remember my uncle telling me, man, man, boy, this gonna hurt me more than it hurts you.
Oh man, I heard
Let me
that.
tell you something.
I heard, man.
But you know what? The relationship that my uncle and I had,
Right.
I know he was being sincere when he said that.
Yeah.
And it's not until you become a parent do you really understand that. But in my mind, I'm like, well, hell, if it's gonna hurt you, don't do it. Hey, don't spank me then if it's gonna hurt you too. Why would you want to do this?
Yeah.
I think my you know what, man, and I think he might have hit me maybe twice
Okay.
with a belt. And I remember him asking me, you all right? Yeah, I'm trying, yeah, okay. All right. Well, go sit down there and get your homework done. That's the only time I got a spanking.
Yeah.
I have never, ever gotten a spanking other than that one time.
Wow.
Now, was it because I was a good kid? Nope. Was it more so probably that I just never got caught doing stuff? That was probably it, right? Because even growing up, man, I was always like this cat that used to play on this show, man, called Eddie Haskell.
Okay.
Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah, yeah.
But Eddie Haskell was that dude that would come by, right? And every time he came over, he'd come over, Mrs. Cleaver.
Right.
Oh, you look so fantastic. You look beautiful in that dress. It just looks so fantastic. And it accentuates your hair color. So, oh, thank you. Thank you, Daddy. Of course, everybody else looking at Eddie like, come on, man.
Right.
Stop with the games.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, when she would leave and the parents leave and they go to the I forgot Beaver's brother's name. They go to the room.
Mm.
They be like, hey, we sneaking out tonight to go get some chicks. Was that kid, right? It was that kid. And I was probably closer to being, definitely closer to being Eddie Haskell than anybody else.
I got
Yeah, I'm like, oh, Steven, he's such a good kid. Of course, my friends be like, man, you got everybody fooled thinking you a good kid, bro. But they look at us like we always the one getting in trouble. I'm like, hey, I can't help that. Yeah, you learn to bring your A game, bro. But yeah. But anyway, man, I've talked enough, bro. Go ahead, Soul, man. My glass is almost empty, man. Go ahead, bro.
It's all good, man. Cause I mean, it's all about, like you said, is the open line of communication, because it's an unwritten rule amongst men to not communicate. I mean, if we're going through something, I mean, of course, we talk to like maybe a handful of people that we can trust with that information, but usually it's not the norm for us to really openly express when we're going through something. If we may need advice and our go-to person or those people aren't available, we don't really talk to strangers or the world about it for the most part. We just kind of, I don't know where it comes from, but we hold things in.
Well, but because it shows a level of, vulnerability,
Right.
that many men are not used to showing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always an argument. There's always both sides. Some people say you need to show that vulnerability, especially, if you're in a relationship, and if your wife or your girlfriend is trying to pull it out of you, give them the information so they can kind of help you work through it. But then you got that other side is like, man, you do that. Once you show the vulnerability,
Yeah.
now you show your weakness.
Right.
And now they don't look at you the same.
Yeah.
So
True. That's true.
you have people that argue both sides of that. There's an argument on both sides.
There is.
Personally, I think getting it out is healthier for us.
Yeah.
I think talking about things is healthier. And I think a lot of it has to do with how we talk about it.
Yeah, that's a good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can still be your manly self
Right.
and get some stuff off your chest. I think sometimes it's the delivery that people sometimes say, well, you know, if you show some vulnerability, man, she gonna think you soft, dog.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I don't talk. That's why I don't talk to my wife, man. I don't want her to think I'm soft. But in the meantime, you're dying in silence
Right.
because you won't get stuff off your chest. You walk around holding stuff in, stuff that some of the stuff you can easily kind of just get off your chest. And even sometimes whether it's the external stuff that you need to talk about or the internal stuff, the stuff that have to do with you and your significant other.
Mm-hmm.
Get that off. You have to be able to get that stuff off of your chest. And again, when you're doing that, it's not finger pointing.
Yeah.
It should be, let's talk about something that's been really bothering me and I need to talk about it.
Right.
I really need to get it off my chest. I don't want responses. I just need you to listen.
Yeah.
So I think the delivery a lot of times has a lot to do with it. I think you can, as a man, you know, if it's bothering you that your girl or your wife, significant other, whatever, if she's spending too much time with her friends and you don't feel like she's spending enough time with you,
Mm-hmm.
you need to address that.
Yeah.
You can talk about it. You're not soft by telling her, hey, baby, look, we got a little problem here.
That's real.
You know, and she's like, well, what's going on? Well, you know what? I tell you what, let's go out to dinner. Let's go out to dinner this weekend, and we'll sit down and we'll talk about it. But it's some stuff I need to, I want to nip it in the bud now before it becomes a problem.
Yeah, for real.
And that's what happens. It's about timing.
Right.
A lot of times we wait until something becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Then we want to address it. Where you could have addressed it 4 or 5 steps down the road or prior to getting to that point,
Mm-hmm.
and it would not have been a problem.
Yeah.
You could have avoided the problem. But we sometimes as men will sit and sit and sit. Then it becomes a problem.
Yeah. And you know what, Steve? The crazy thing is it doesn't come out of us verbally, but I learned in my last relationship, it comes out in different ways. Because I remember my ex pointed it out to me. I was I was going through something, I don't know. But I guess I was just stressed out about something, right? I think it was like my job, because I remember when I was in my relationship, the reason why I got laid off, actually, and I was going through that period, and it's like I didn't say nothing, but I remember she would mention like, hey, is everything okay? And she would say this like frequently, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm fine. But she'd be like, okay, well, why you always got this like attitude? Why you got this undertone in your voice?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you slamming doors? Why is it you're so agitated, and it's like the slightest thing you be almost halfway ready to go off.
And you didn't even realize it.
Didn't even realize, Steve.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
That's why you looking at her like, man, what the hell are you talking about?
Right. I thought I was hiding it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the whole time it's written over my face. You can see it in my actions. And it's so crazy because I didn't have anybody that I felt comfortable talking to about it at the time. I mean, I talked to my mom about like my job and stuff, but you know, we had issues in our relationship too, but I was real. I think maybe I learned a lot, man. I learned you got to be careful what you tell your family when you go through a relationship.
Man, absolutely.
Man, because once they pick a side, they stay there.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
For real.
Yeah, it's a wrap, bro.
Man.
And surprisingly, they pick the other side more frequently than you would ever know.
Yeah.
So now everything is always my fault.
Yeah.
Hey, Stephen, what'd you do?
Right.
What the hell you mean, what did I do?
For real, man.
You did something. You don't even know the story. And you're right, that happens, man. That happens. That happens, yeah, too frequently, as a matter of fact, man.
It does, man.
Yeah. But so when you were doing all of that though, at what point did you realize, hey, okay, something must be going on. I need to figure out how to cope with this. What did you do? I mean, what did you do to resolve that?
It was tough, man, because I really thought about it, and I went back, and I would, anytime I would sit in the mirror a lot, and I would look at my facial expressions, because she would say something, like I said, it was frequent. Like she didn't know about my job to the last minute, and I wasn't out of work for like maybe 2 months, so it wasn't. I got another job at the time pretty quickly, but I would really start paying attention to my actions. So now, I basically, long story short, I got in my head, and I started overthinking everything, man. I'm watching how I walk. I'm paying attention to my mood, because it was irritating, because I'm sitting here. There was still a point where I thought I was hiding it.
Mm-hmm.
And even after I started to realizing it, it took a little bit of time for my ego to subside and calm down, because it's like I was aware, but my ego was like, nah, I just gotta hide it better. So I had to dial it back and just be like, hey man, look, we gotta cut this shit out.
Right.
And we need to talk to somebody about this, because it's not coming out verbally, but it's coming out through my behavior.
Yeah, bro, I got an attitude problem.
Yeah, right, for real. Yeah.
Yeah, you can ask my mom about that, bro. I remember growing up, man. I remember, man, I would get mad with my mom about something, bro. Man, I could go like 2 weeks wouldn't say a word to my mom, bro.
Oh yeah, that's how y'all day.
And I remember, man, and that I was, and at that age, I was still trying to figure out how to deal with anger.
Yeah.
How to manage anger.
Yes.
Stuff like that, right? You know, you especially, man, you as a preteen going into your teenage years.
Yeah.
So much stuff is going on, man. And you're in a situation where you don't know how to cope. You don't know how to handle things, right?
Yeah.
So that was rough. And even to this day, bro. My mom told me, she's like, son, you don't have to keep apologizing about something you did at 13. But I still have this need to continue.
I know what you mean.
To apologize. Sometimes we just sitting down. I'm like, you know what, mom? You know what? I know you said don't do it, but you know what? I apologize for some of the stuff I did.
Yeah.
As a kid.
That's
as
real.
a teenager.
Right.
Man, I did some crazy stuff, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, what do people say? Oh, that's just that's boys being boys. I don't know if that's, that's an answer, but that's not the right answer.
Yeah.
Because wrong is still wrong.
Right, exactly.
You can't say, oh, he's acting bad, he's doing that. Oh, that's just boys being boys. No, my behavior was incorrect.
Yeah.
It was. And I screwed up. But yeah, I mean, even to this day, man, and my mom and I, we have great communication, man. But probably sometimes they overly over communicate.
I got you.
Yeah. I tell her everything, bro. She's like, oh, well, I didn't need to hear that. Yeah, I don't want to know about that stuff. Yeah, my mama, we cool like that. So yeah,
Yep.
And what I always say is, they're sons and moms who wish they had the communication and the relationship that I have with my mom.
Yeah.
It's a good one, man. It's a fantastic relationship, bro.
That's awesome.
And and I wish everybody, man, had that relationship. And guess what? If you don't, and your mom is still alive, it's not too late to create that relationship, to create that line of communication. Get back or get to that point where you guys can talk about any and everything. Yeah, man. But I'm glad you picked the subject, man. Communication, that's important.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very important, man.
And I like how you tied that in, about having that relationship with your mother or whoever, because that ties back to the last subject, because it's the holidays, communicate with people. Because just like Steve, you were talking about, people on average get 75 summers, you know, we don't know how many holiday seasons we have left to spend with our loved ones. So definitely, to all the listeners out there, let those grudges go. Make amends. I mean, we talked about it on the last subject, but just to reiterate, you know, bury the hatchet, let it go. You don't have to forget about it and wipe your memory, but just let the emotions go. You know, build relationships with people, because really, we work, we you know, we do things that we like to do in our fun time. We go to sports events and stuff, and we balance having fun and working and taking care of bills and stuff. But life is really about people at the end of the day, and it's about relationships, because that's more important than money. All the money in the world can't buy. You can't buy happiness. I mean, you can buy a lot of stuff. I mean, I could buy things that make me happy, but you can't buy happiness. You can't buy family. Oh man, shoot, my uncle died, let me go buy another one. You only get one. So you can get another dollar, but you can't get another mother. You can't get another sister. You can't get another brother.
Yeah.
So appreciate the ones that you got. If you got beef with anybody, settle it. Life is too short.
That's right. Hey, before we sign off, in the words of Prince, make love, not war.
Bingo.
See you next time.